welcome to the channel. Ah, for fuck's sake. Hello. Welcome to the channel. We are heading off. See, if I get out of here, there's more chance of these two cars getting a space, you see. So I'll just pop out of the way. Thanks. Thank you very much. You see, it might have been, if I'd stayed there, you see, that it's just common sense, you know. It's like common sense. If I'd stayed in, it would have made them easier to do their manoeuvre. But then, you see, that's just like what an expert driver I am, really. I think it's pretty clear. Yeah. They got me to fuck out of the way, and that gave them a space. A lot of people don't think like that. It's like they don't think that far forward, do they? A lot of dummies.
Listening to police saying they cannot cope and they can't arrest
Cope.
their way out.
They cannot cope.
And really the only thing they have in common is an ability to use the internet.
Yes, there's plenty to do for both of us.
Sophisticated way. Why do they do it? I think there are a range of motivations. One, they will all have in common probably, and there have been interviews with them, so you can hear them describe in their own words, but it's a meaningful activity. It makes them feel that they are protecting children, they're making the world a better place, they're delivering justice to people who otherwise would carry on their criminal activity. Now, clearly, if you look at some of the videos that are posted online, there are
I think we're talking about paedo hunters.
Motivations at play.
I think.
Some paedophile hunters really enjoy glorifying themselves as superheroes.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of narcissism with it. I always like the paedo hunter thing.
In sometimes very disturbing ways.
There's some of them are really questionable.
So I think there are mixed motivations.
I think it's the sort of thing you really shouldn't. Who are you to say? How do we know that you're not one of them? You know, you're going like. I know somebody that got stung by them when I was down the borders, and you know, a lot of it's, you know, it's sort of vigilante type thing. It really isn't a good idea.
Where she actually does call him every time there is a confrontation and she hands him over. And the police are grateful, but in the police service, in my imagined world, this is controversial. So Lawson is a bit of a loner. He believes that collaboration between vigilantes and the police is possible. Whether or not that's realistic is a subject of debate, I think.
Well, no, not really.
I think it is realistic. There's a really complicated relationship. There's an official line from the National Police Chiefs Council, and that is that paedophile hunters, they don't call them paedophile hunters, these activist groups. So they're kind of framing them as activists rather than crime fighters. The official line is cease and desist. Stop what you're doing immediately because there is no policing value to the work that you're doing. But individual police officers and some forces have dissented from this line. I've heard from paedophile
Ford Focus has had the undersale treatment. Wow, did you see that? That's a blast from the past. From the 70s.
In their own words,
That's what you used to do. You used to get undersale and splatter it right up the side of the car.
Can't cope with
wow.
blood, and you're actually helping put people away.
Well, yeah, shouldn't really do it. I mean, I've got some up the side of my little blue Sitting.
I think really serious problems with paedophile hunting, and not only with those groups that do really questionable naming and shaming. So at one kind of end of the spectrum, you have some who will knock on people's doors, on their family doors.
Very dangerous.
And that will be where they video the ambush. Their parents will be captured, sometimes their children. It will be the first they've ever heard that their partner, father, brother, son is involved in something like this. And it will be extremely shocking, and it has led to suicides, it has led to community vigilante actions, and so on.
That's
if they've got the right person in the first
So,
place.
I mean, and
Absolutely, and
you've
sometimes
got to
they
remember,
don't.
so I'm not trying to justify any of this, right?
Sometimes they will get a recent case, a young man
but-
who has the intellectual age of between 9 and 12 years old.
Your, you know, your
based on
hormones and
him
your
in his
genetics and
community
everything,
in
your
front of
sex
everybody,
drive,
and
it's very strong.
with no care for his,
And
or his
years
family's
ago,
human rights.
it probably would have been.
So if the police
It's just
were doing,
social
they would
faux
not
pas for
be
an older
naming
man
and
to go
shaming,
with a younger
posting
woman.
videos. They would know in
You know,
advance if this person had learning difficulties, if this
So
person was a suicide.
it's just like weird or odd. It's not
Even
normal.
those paedophile
That's
hunting
why you
groups
should have arranged
that
marriages.
do try to be more
It's like
professional, and there is a kind of
marriages
professional
don't work. But anyway, you get some older
lots of
guy going
paedophile
after
hunting
somebody
groups. They
younger.
try and collect
It's
evidence in a
obviously
very
reprehensible and it's not
careful way.
acceptable in our
They don't
society.
post
So,
videos online or even publish
but at the
names
same
until
time, you
somebody
can't
has been
understand
convicted, even there
why
are serious
somebody
problems.
would find.
One of
See, I
the
can't even
serious
say this
problems
because it'll make me
is
feel like
that they
some people
tend
might
to
think
go
I'm
for
condoning,
low-level
you know,
offenders. So time
people.
and again,
But
I've seen cases
not that long ago. I mean,
where
it was
they
like
used to fake
the king
profile
would have a
on
young
over
bride, you know,
18's
or
site. So they
whatever.
will pretend to be
Royal,
a young
you know,
woman,
they did these
they
things
will
not that long
wait
ago. How long ago
for
was it?
somebody to start
100,
chatting with
200
them.
years ago?
Only when that
You know, so
relationship has been
I don't know
established
about the
will they
Muslims
say,
and
"Actually,
Aisha,
I'm only 14."
Allah and all that.
So here
She
you are
14 or
really
something.
entrapping people
So,
who may not
you know,
have
I think the whole
intended
thing's a bit. That's a
to,
really
to
tidy
break the
motorhome.
law. And then you are flooding the courts and overwhelming police
tidy.
with offenders.
It
who
looks
would
quite
not be
old as well.
targeted because the police
They've really-
would be
that looks
prioritising
good. It's
people
nearly
who
a
they
wee
think
bit of-
have access to children
Wow.
and going for younger
Oh, it's
children and are a
fun.
real threat to the public.
Right,
And I
so,
think it's important
you know,
to
I
keep in
think,
mind that the last
the whole
systematic research
thing
back in
is one of these.
2019
It's just
showed
social
that 46% of child
taboo in
grooming
our
cases
society.
where somebody met a child with an intent
For
to
an older
have
man
sex,
to go with a younger
46%
woman.
involved evidence
Well,
from
anybody older, I
paedophile
mean,
hunters.
anybody
So
that's
their
older than.
actions are
Anybody that's under,
transforming
what, 60?
the
And it's all down to your
landscape of
moral
prosecutions
compass.
in this field.
I've got a daughter.
So that's
If
really
you've got a
one
daughter, everybody's got a
problematic
daughter, you
aspect.
realise,
Another one
you know,
is
that
often
it's
the
selfish
evidence is
behaviour
poor.
to go to.
So cases will be
It's
thrown
immoral
out,
to take advantage
in
of somebody
court.
who
They
is
may
young
even
and
be
vulnerable.
interfering with
You know,
existing
so
police
really,
investigations
am I just?
where there is a
What
very
am I?
serious
I think leave it to the
criminal
authorities to do it. I don't.
paedophile has
You know,
got
it's just
report
weirdos.
evidence. In
They're
the
just
meantime, the suspect has deleted
definitely
all the evidence
narcissistic
that would
nutters
enable the
that are
police
going
to
about
send them away for much longer.
pedo hunting.
Elisha, do you have any
What are they to
sympathy
say?
for people who are targeted
What the
by these
evidence that they
paedophile
have,
hunters?
you know.
I think it always depends.
So obviously
on
the police are not very
evidence.
keen
So
on it, and
from
I
my point
reckon
of view,
quite
the
rightly so.
real issue
Unless we're
is
just going to get rid of the
scale
police service,
which Kat talks
then
about.
it's just going to
It's
be
too
mayhem, isn't it?
big. The scale
You
of
know,
the problem is enormous. So when you have statistics
They
like
catch them.
5% of the world's
This guy I
children
knew
are
down the
victims of
borders, he
sexual
got
abuse,
caught
when you have
trying to chat up.
statistics
Well, they
like
say he was trying to chat up a
1.8
young
million
lassie or
men
something
in
on.
Britain have offended
It was
against
a.
children
It wasn't.
online
See, he wasn't really committing an
That's
offence
enough for
because
the state
it was a
20
trap.
times.
You know.
know
So there was.
we have a
You know what I mean?
So
It was
it's
like the
hard
intent.
to feel sympathetic
So this was actually
with the police
an
or
adult
with paedophiles
person
when
that
the
was
scale of
he
the
was
issue
actually
is so
interacting
huge.
with.
I have enormous
You know, so he didn't.
sympathy
So it was
for
like the
those
intent
who
that he
want
was
to
trying. He
put
thought
end
it
to
was,
these
or
people.
they think he
I think
thinks
it's
there was evidence that this was a
questionable
young
how they do it.
underage
Kat, is there any evidence
female,
that
you know,
paedophile
and he
hunting
got
works as a deterrent?
humiliated, and it was terrible. Well,
I don't think there is.
he was
but that doesn't mean
mentally.
that,
Well, there you go.
that
This
it
guy
doesn't
was
work as a
mental.
deterrent. The
People
problem-
with autism and everything. They don't have a clue what they're doing. It's very unfair. But I wouldn't get involved with it. No. You know, you need a moral compass, and it's obviously not right to get involved with that sort of thing. I hope I've explained it well. Thanks for watching. Bye.